Hello grade 4s and welcome to a wonderful Wednesday, April 23rd, 2020 math lesson. I'm really excited today because I've got some new toys to be showcasing for this math lesson. But before we get into the newest toy, I'd like to talk about what we're going to be doing. We are going to be working with multiplication today. Today our goal is to solve triple digit by triple digit equations using the standard algorithm. The standard algorithm, again, is the most common way people solve multiplication. It's the way that your parents most likely were taught. It's the way I was taught. When I was young, there was no other techniques to multiplication. It was just the one. You do it this way or you get the question wrong. But now we've learned there's many different ways to solve a multiplication equation. It's like having a toolbox. If you're a construction worker, you go to a job site and you always want to have a toolbox that's filled with every tool that you need because you never know what tool is going to be needed for the job. And you go in there and you find the right tool and use it. Well, in the same way with math, it's a toolbox. For multiplication, there's many different ways to solve the same question. And there's no right or wrong. It's about what works for you. Which way makes the most sense to you? And so today, we're going to go over a bit more the standard algorithm. I do know that in the class, many of you do prefer this way, so this is a great way to use for the more difficult equations. All right, now let's get into some of my new toys. So ever since I've started having to do these lessons like this, I've been stocking up on new toys. As you guys know, my son has a YouTube channel, so we use this as an opportunity to get a brand new microphone. Yeah, pretty sweet microphone, eh? Got a brand new web camera so that it can, at least have half decent clarity. But my new toy that I want to talk about today, oh, this is so cool. I'm really excited for this one. I've wanted one of these for a long time. Actually, for probably about 15 years. Because I had a friend who does digital animation. And he used one of these 15 years ago. I'm like, so cool, I want one. So here's a hint, if you guys can guess what I got. In order to use this, I need to wear this silly thing. Yeah. Any clue what it is? If you guessed a drawing tablet, you guessed correct. All right. This is it. It is a special drawing tablet. I get this pen, and then I can draw, and it shows up on the screen. Yeah, it's probably not all that impressive to you guys, but it's pretty impressive to me. And I'm excited to see if I can help make better YouTube videos so that you can learn a bit more math. So let's get into our math now. So I've got my supplies all ready for this math lesson. I've got my handy-dandy writing glove for using my digital board. Yeah, take a look at that. Just so you guys know, Michael Jackson's glove had nothing on this glove. Ooh. Yeah, that's my Michael Jackson glove for drawing. I've got my handy dandy Parable drawing pen. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool stuff, eh? Now, I need the most terrifying thing I have. Nothing's prepared you for this. It's called the Infinite Mr. Merrick Cloner. Let us begin. Oh, that's a lot of Mr. Merricks. Better get to the math. All right, let us start off with a relatively easy question. We're going to be doing a triple digit number by a double digit number, and we're going to be using the standard algorithm. There'll be no carrying over, so it's going to be relatively easy. The next one will be a touch more difficult. Let's start off with 124 times 12. Now, before we do that, let's look at what this is actually communicating in the expanded form. We know that in expanded form, 124 is actually 100 plus 20 plus 4. Again, all we're doing when we talk about that is we are converting into its place value. So how many are in the hundreds? There's 1 in the hundreds, so that is 100. How many in the tens column? There's 2. So that becomes 20. How many in the ones column? There's 4. That becomes 4. So in expanded form, 124 equals 100 plus 20 plus 4. 12 in expanded form would be 10 plus 2. All right, now we can start solving the math. Now the reason, though, I explained it to an expanded form, it'll make sense for why we dropped the bomb. Some people really want to know why we dropped the bomb, and it's a fantastic question. So we'll use that expanded form knowledge to help make sense of why. First thing we're going to do when we're using the standard algorithm is start with the ones column. So we look at the bottom number first, because we always multiply using the bottom numbers. And we multiply by the top number. So the bottom number in this case is a 2 in the ones, and the top is a 4 in the ones. 2 times 4. So let's look at what that means visually. That is saying we have two groups of 4. Each group has 4. So let's draw 4 chocolate eggs here. So you got two groups of chocolate eggs. And there's one group, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your second group. Two groups of 4. Here's group 1, here's group 2. Each group has 1, 2, 3, 4 in it. So if we skip count by 4s twice, we get to our answer. 4, 8. Again, this group has a total of 4 in it. This group has a total of 4 in it. And 4 plus 4 equals 8. So why does 2 times 4 equal 8? That is why. Now, as we said before, math is commutative. That means it can go either way. Not math, sorry, multiplication is commutative. 2 times 4 is the same as 4 times 2. So now let's see what would 4 times 2 look like. That's 4 groups. Each group has 2. 1, 2, that's one group. Another 2, 2 groups. 3 groups, 4 groups. This here represents 4 times 2. We have 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each group has 2 in it. 4 times 2. That would be the same as skip counting. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Skip counting by 2s 4 times. 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 4 equals 8. Math, multiplication, is commutative. It can go either way. All right, so 2 times 4, we know what that looks like visually. We've shown it both ways. It's equal to 8. Next up is 2 times 2. We have 2 groups of 2. Well, that equals 4. Now, I want to stop here and just talk real quickly about it. When we are doing the standard algorithm, we just say 2 times 2. We don't talk about its place value. In fact, what this is really saying is 2 times 20, because this number here is in the tens column. The 2 is actually 20. So 2 groups of 20 equals 40. 20 plus 20 is 40. Well, if we look here, this is also the tens column in our answer. So that doesn't equal 4, it actually equals 40. 2 groups of 20 is 40. All right, that will help later on for when we drop the bomb. Moving along, now we're going to multiply the hundreds. 2 groups of 100 equals 200. I put a 2 there. Or 2 times 1 equals 2, and I put a 2 there. So 2 times 124 equals 248. Now we need to move over to the tens column. But this number right here, this 1, it's not a 1. It actually represents a 10. So we know that there's a 0 that comes after it because, look here, we said it represents the 10. In expanded form, this is 10, and there's a 0 right here. Look at that 0. So we need to represent that 0 on our multiplication. And I'm going to do it just by putting it right there. Before I start anything, the second I multiply something in the tens column, I need to drop the bomb and put a 0 there. Okay? So here is our 0. Now I can start off. 1 times 4 equals 4. Now, what is this really saying? This is actually saying 10, because remember this is a 10. We looked over there. It's a 10. 10 times 4. 10 groups of 4. Well, that's equal to 40. If we look here, what's our answer? It is 40. This is why we drop the bomb. If you don't drop the bomb, everything's going to be off by 1 place value. What should have been in the tens column is now in the ones column. What should have been in the hundreds column is now in the tens. Everything's off. So you need to drop the bomb to make the question right, to make it make sense. All right, moving along. 1 times 2. Well, that equals 2. But again, let's communicate what it actually means. This actually means 10 times 20. Both of these are in the tens column. This is 10. We see it right there. This one is 20. We see it right there. 10 times 20 is 200. Well, we can see it's 200 because we put a 2 in the hundreds column. So, yes, this is true. 10 times 20 is 200. And there's the 2 right there. Had we not dropped the bomb, had we not put this 0 right here, it would not make sense. It wouldn't be accurate. It wouldn't be true. So it's important we drop the bomb. All right, next off. 1 times 1 equals 1. Or 10 times 100. Because, see, this is the hundreds. 10 times 100 is 1,000. And you look there, that is in the thousand spot with place value. All right, now we need to add all of these up. Remember, multiplication, we call it a product. When I say, what is the product of 124 and 12? That means multiply. Addition in math language is sum. What is the sum of 248 and 1,240? That would mean add. So now we need to add. We need to find the sum of these two numbers. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus nothing is 1. Therefore, 124 times 12 is 1,488. If I was to make... Now we are going to look at how we multiply using carrying over. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it gets a little bit more messy. This is one of the reasons why I like teaching you other methods other than the standard algorithm, because the standard algorithm can get a little messy at times, and this messiness is what causes errors. So let's get into some messy standard algorithm multiplication. 235. We're going to multiply it by 25. So first off, what is this saying? This is saying we have 235 groups and each group has 25 in it. Or it's saying we have 25 groups and each group has 235 in it. I could ask you to draw a picture of that, but that would take all day. And truthfully speaking, I'm not going to count it all as I mark it. That would be just bonkers. So instead, let's just multiply it using an algorithm, because that's a bit of a shortcut. And let's take that shortcut. Before we start, let's put these both in expanded form. 235 becomes 200 plus 30 plus 5. 25 becomes 20 plus 5. 235 is 200 plus 30 plus 5. 25 is 20 plus 5 when we put it in expanded form. First thing we're going to do is, when we work on this, is we're going to start with the ones column. Always start with the numbers on the bottom. This is why we actually always put the smallest number on the bottom, because it's less work. As I mentioned before, multiplication is commutative. I could make this look like this. If I wanted to, I could do 25 times 235. But that would just be a lot of extra work. It'd be one whole extra row of multiplying. And I don't want to do that. So this is why we always have the smaller number on the bottom. So first off, 5 times 5. 5 groups of 5. If I skip count by 5, 5 times 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I put the 5 right there. But I cannot put this 2 right here. No, no, no. Cannot do that. That would set everything off. What I need to do is I need to carry that 2 over. So let me delete it. Oops. I'm going to put the 2 up here. This, if you remember, is the tens column. So if I was to break up this answer, 5 times 5 equals 25, into expanded form, that would be 20 plus 5. Well, check it out. Here's my 5, and here's my 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. So I've kept this to be mathematically true. We haven't changed anything by carrying over. But if I was to put the 2 right here, that would change everything. So I carry over the 2 up into the tens column. The second we exceed the ones column, whatever we exceeded by goes up there. Right? 5 times 5 is 25. There's the 5. There's the 2. Now we're going to work on multiplying the tens column. 5 times 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. Again, I put the 7 there, and I put the 1 up here. What this really communicates is 30 times 50, or 5. 30 times 5 equals 150. Let me put that here. 30 times 5. But we need to add, remember, this represents 20. So 30 times 5 plus 20. What does that equal? Well, 30 times 5 equals 150 plus 20, which equals 170. If I put that in expanded form, that would be 100 plus 70. Well, here's my 70. That's in the tens column. Here's my 100. That's in the 100s column. So mathematically, it is true. 5 times 30 is 150 plus 20 is 170. 170. Or 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. There's the 1 and there's the 7. All right, next up, 5 times 2, or 5 times 200. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Because we now no longer have any numbers going higher, we have nothing in the thousands column, I can just write the 11. I don't need to carry over now. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Or 5 times 200 is 1,000, plus 100 is 1,100. 1,100. 235 times 5 equals 1,175. Now we're going to move over to the tens column. Remember, this represents 20. And if you look on the 20, what do we have after the 2? We have a 0. So we need to put a 0 here. We need to drop the bomb. This bomb goes there. This is a 20. We drop the bomb. There's 1 0 after the 2. We drop 1 0. 2 times 5 is 10. I put the 0 here and I carry over. I cross this out because I no longer need it, and I put a 1 there. What is this really communicating? This is actually communicating 20 times 5. 20 times 5 is 100. Put the 0 there, carry the 1 over there. 1 and 0, 0 is 100. 2 times 5 equals 10. There's a 10. Or 20 times 5 equals 100. And there's a 1 and the 0, 0. Okay. Now we got to do the tens column by the tens column. 20 times 30, or 2 times 6, or sorry, 2 times 3, I gave you the answer. 2 times 3 is 6. 20 times 30 is 600. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So I put the 7 right there. I don't need to carry anything over. Next up, 20 times 200, or 2 times 2, is 4. 20 times 200 is 4,000. Oh, look at that. The 4 is in the thousand spot. Or 2 times 2 is 4. Whatever way works for you. Now I need to find the sum of these two numbers. 5 plus 0 equals 5. 7 plus 0 equals 7. 1 plus 7 equals 8. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 235 times 25 equals 5,875. All right, again, let's go to one a touch more difficult. This time, we are going to work on a triple digit by a triple digit, and we're also going to use carrying over. 936 times 214. Let's see what this actually means in expanded form. 900 plus 30 plus 6, and 214 becomes 200 plus 10 plus 4. We start off with the bottom numbers in the ones column. 4 times 6, that's saying 4 groups of 6, that is 24. Now remember, if this doesn't come easy to you, you can use your multiplication chart. I encourage you to keep on using extra math. The more extra math you do, the quicker you'll be able to solve these. Back to the math. 4 times 6 is 24. There's the 2, there's the 4. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. I put the 4 here, and I carry over the 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1, 37. Now I'm going to multiply the tens column. We look here. How many zeros? We have 1 0. So I drop 1 bomb. Drop the bomb. 1 times 6, 10 times 6, 60, or 1 times 6 is 6. There's the 60, or there's the 6, depending on which way you prefer visualizing it. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 9 is 9. Now we're at the 2, or the 200. And if you look, there is 2 bombs. 1, 2. So if we added 1 bomb for the tens column, how many bombs do we add for the hundreds column? If you said 2, because there's 2 here, you are correct. 1 bomb, 2 bomb. Because what is this really communicating? This isn't actually communicating 2 times 6. This is actually communicating 200 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 200 times 6 is 1200. So I put the 2 here because 2 times 6 is 12. Cross out that. No longer need that one. That's from a previous one. And I add the 1 up there. So the 1 and then the 200. That makes 1200. 200 times 6 is 1200. Okay? Next off, 200 times 30, or 2 times 3, is 6, plus the 1 that we had to carry over is 7. 2 times 9 is 18. We have nothing in the thousands column, so I can just write down 18. Oh my goodness, I'm writing on an angle. This is just like how I do at the board at school. This is terrible. Look at this angle. Mr. Merrick needs to learn how to write in a straight line. All right. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry over the 1. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. Carry over the 1. That's 4. 13. 20. Carry over the 2. 1. Carry over the 1. 2. So, 936 times 214 equals 200,304. Again, let's move on to one that's a touch more difficult. Let's do 458 times 330. Let's do 5. Let's put this in expanded form. It's good practice. 400 plus 50 plus 8. 300 plus 30 plus 5. All right, starting with the ones column. 5 times 8 is 40. 0, carry over the 4. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 4 is 29. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2, 22. Drop the bomb, because now we're doing the tens column. As you can see, it's starting to get messy up here. This is one of the problems with the standard algorithm. It gets messy, and it gets messy quite quickly. 3 times 8 is 24. Cross that out. Put a 2 up there. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. Put the 1 there. Cross that out. Put a 1 up here now. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. As you can see, this is really starting to get messy. Okay, really messy up there. Now we're at this one in the hundreds column. If we look at the hundreds column, we've got 1, 2 zeros. So we have to put 2 zeros right here. 3 times 8, just like before. 24, carry over the 2. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Carry over the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Now I add all of these up. 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0. 9 plus 4, 13. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 7 is 10, plus 4, 14. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 7, 13. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 4. No, that didn't make sense. My brain's not working. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5, and 1. 458 times 335 is 153,430. Now, what would this look like in expanded form? Let's just do that real quick. That would be 100,000 plus 50,000 plus 3,000 plus 400 plus 30. All right. That's in expanded form. Let's do one more. Let's do 569 multiplied by 817. So this one's going to be quite a bit more difficult, but we can do this. We can get through this, Kat. So first off, 569. Let's turn that into expanded form. 500 plus 60 plus 9. 569. 800 plus 10 plus 7. 810, 7. Start off with the ones columns on the bottom. 7 times 9. If this is difficult, you can use your multiplication chart. Remember, keep on doing extra math. This is what's really going to help you. Right here, extra math. This is where it helps. So 9 times 7, 7 times 9 is 63. I'm going to put a 3 there. Carry over a 6 there. 7 times 6. 7 times 6. Well, for this one, I do my shortcut. 6 times 6. I can never remember 6 times 7. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 6 is 42. So now I need to do 7 times 6 is 42. Add 6, 48. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4, 39. Now I need to drop the bomb. Because we're at the tens column. Drop one bomb. So I know that anything times 1 is going to equal itself. So that's going to equal 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 5 is 5. All right, now we're doing 800. And there is, as you can see, 2 bombs. So we need to drop 1, 2 bombs. 8 times 9 is 72. I'm going to put the 2 here, cross that out, and put a 7 there now. 8 times 6. Again, this is 48. The more you do extra math, the more this gets easier for you to do. The toughest ones that you're going to find for multiplying are going to be 6, 7, and 8. So I really encourage you to use your extra math lots to help you memorize it. Anyways, 8 times 6, 48, plus 7, 55. Carry over the 5. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 5, 45. Add it all up. 3 plus 0 is 3. 8 plus 9, 17. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 6, 16. Plus 2, 18. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 5 is 9. 14. 1 plus 5 is 6. And then 4. 569 times 817 equals 464,873. In expanded form, that'd be 400,000 plus 60,000 plus 4,000 plus 800 plus 70 plus 3. All right. I hope that helped, and have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope that was helpful. I hope that it makes more sense. Remember, if you're still struggling with your math, give me a call. Don't hesitate to give me a call. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be answering my MS Teams after school hours. I'm working the exact same hours that I did when I was at school, when we were at our building. But we're no longer at our building. My hours stay the same. If you have a question, do not hesitate. Give me a call. So long as I'm not in a meeting with another student or with other staff, I will answer your call and I can show you how to do this. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm still employed, so I can help you. Please allow me to do my job. Don't hesitate to call me. If you're bored at home, you've done all your work, you want to play a chess game? Hey, give me a call. We'll play some online chess. This is what we're here for. If you just need someone to talk to, don't hesitate. I'm available. Miss Henley's available. Give us a call. Shoot us a message on MSN Teams or on MS Teams, and we are here for you. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone.